Hello everybody, I'm Tom and you are watching me play Vampire. In today's episode we're going to go into the West End. I think I can go in this way. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm going to do some exploring around and probably cut out anything that isn't entirely relevant. Apparently I can't go this way. I may have to go through the docks or through Whitechapel. Or maybe through this way even. We'll see, but I'm going to cut out a lot of my running around probably. The main reason is I'm probably going to be talking less because I am sick at the moment. So I don't really want to have to talk more than I don't want to talk more than I have to is probably the best way of putting it. One, because I sound horrible, and two, it's just not particularly good on my throat. So I'm not going to be talking through a lot of my random wanderings, which will make a lot of my random wanderings rather boring. So I'm actually going to cut fairly heavily in this episode. I'll show all relevant story stuff. But other than that, we'll be back when we're back. Well, I'm not cutting yet, because this looks kind of relevant. Interesting. Ill-formed skull. Interesting. It's a really annoying repeating sound.
I saw earlier.
Yeah.
This war takes no prisoners.
Murdering a vampire along the way. Interesting, but not unexpected. Also, the informed skull, I think, is similar to Harriet Jones. They're ill-formed, which is weird. I don't really understand how that works, but something to do with the flu, I think.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Makes sense he lived here. He's rich. So eventually I need to go here. So I think I want to go... I guess... down here, check all this area. Come unlock this door? And then I want to kind of search. I think I don't think I'm going to do a really thorough search. Ill-formed Vampyr skull. Oh god. Exploded into filth. I got poisoned to death. Alright, so the blinker skulls leave poison behind. Which I guess makes sense. I think they're the ones that are sick. I think they're the ones that get transformed while they're sick. I heard someone talking there. Unknown over there. Someone in trouble, obviously.
This is now my domain, young con.
Should have known it was a vampire. Got the lock on this game. Well, I killed him. Hello.
I'm Dr. Johnathan Reid. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. But what happened to my jailer? Be careful. He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura. I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reid, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Interesting. Kimura Tadao. Japanese, I guess? Must be Japanese.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
It's weird seeing Japanese people in the UK at this period, but not really, because it's before World War II. The Heresy of Purebloods. Pureblood. We know the expression. We heard it in the foul mouth of the heretics and the foreign barbarians, used it sometimes ourselves. But we do not. But do we really know what it means? A vampire born from an immortal belly. What a disgusting idea. How would such a creature find a place among the livings? What would it be its purpose? Ours is clear, gentlemen. Ascalon is here to protect the Empire and all its citizens. We are the protectors and shepherds, even when sometimes sacrificing a sheep for other sustenance. Whoever will be found guilty of succumbing to the desire of breeding a mortal child shall be eradicated. Interesting. Interesting. Charlotte Ashbury. Very well could be adopted. She looks very dark-skinned, Indian almost? Very strange. Alright, so I've searched pretty much all of this area. Can I even go through here? I can actually, but I'm not going to. So I've searched all of this. I kind of want to search here, here, and then we'll do the story. Because I want the story done today. What is this? I'm apparently allowed to go in here.
Fresh water. As long as it's not holy water, I may find some use for it.
Fresh water. The only thing I can think of using that on is putting it on the plant in my office. There's this plant you can interact with, and every single time he's like, oh, it needs water if it's going to live. I can finally give it fresh water, I guess. I bet if I came up here, I could have avoided... getting ambushed by that dude. Probably. I would guess. And now we have this direction. That was indeed a trap. Shotgun guys far easier to deal with than the poison spraying guys. Case in point. So I do want to check left. I hear a scowl. Hello, beastie. I'm hoping I can run away from the skull and kill this guy. I didn't. Although, seems to hurt this guy as well. Interesting, he didn't run through the poison. Alright, I feel pretty safe in killing him. Good blood sample. I'll take it. This is the other side of that wall, isn't it? So this is a shortcut. Usefully. It's actually a fairly useful shortcut. Saves you a fight at least, I think. Here a skull. Is this a safe house? Well, that worked out fairly well, all things considered.
I cannot enter.
I feel like that was an absolute win. Alright. came out of that without dying, so I'll take it. Bunch of rats over here.
I have this thirst for blood.
Alright. Cool, that was locked from the other side. I figured it would be. But that should take me right where I need to go. I think this is probably the safe zone.
Club, the heart of British Vampire Society.
Hello.
Not quite as subtle as I expected.
This.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reid. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
I'm not going to talk to everybody here. I just kind of wanted to talk to her because she seems specifically interesting. About your adoption, yeah.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reid?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Interesting. She's communist, I think.
What are you
Socialist
doing
at very
out
least.
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually,
Yes.
I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Fair enough.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
It was interesting. I didn't know... I was under the impression that no one could vote unless they owned property. Maybe they introduced... Because I don't think women were ever banned from voting in the UK. I think it was literally the rule was you had to own property to be able to vote, which essentially ruled all women out for a long time. And then when you got into kind of the turn of the century, or just before the turn of the century, they introduced it that all men and women over the age of 30 could vote. I don't know, that's weird. I'll have to look that up.
How
I don't know, the
locals
transitional
react to
period
your
is weird.
claims.
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reid. And please, don't tell my mother.
It's a very juvenile thing to say, but probably fitting.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
It's a late
Did you
adoption.
know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reid? Or you?
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so... alive.
That may be true for a naive girl, but I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reid.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me.
That would be the question I would have.
So, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
I do wonder if she has done that. My assumption would be probably not, and if so, rarely. Because going through the loss of a child over and over again is not something many people want to go through.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever
Interesting.
woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Somewhat true.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
It is somewhat odd to change your name at 10 years old. Why would you choose to do that? Maybe she did previously have daughters. Or maybe a pure-blood Charlotte that was killed, maybe?
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady.
Incredibly so.
And the worst part of it is,
It would probably work.
I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor than mine.
Oh, my God. For one second, I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reid. Very convincing.
Hopefully somewhat frightening. That was the idea.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Alright. Well, we've made it to West End. And I think next time is when we're going to explore everything around West End, and then probably go into there. First things first, I want to come this way and just unlock the shortcut. If this cuts me into another cutscene, so be it, I suppose. But I now have that unlocked. Should be easier. So that's going to be it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the episode, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, where we're going to fully explore this place. This is a really cool zone, and the music in it is fantastic as well. See you next time, guys.